Hey guys, Two-Time Marine here with another video. Today talking about the budget cuts that are going to be hitting the Marine Corps here pretty soon, from what I understand. They're going to be pretty major, as far as I can tell. They're going to cut back a lot on personnel. They're going to cut back a lot on just the general funding that we have. Sorry, I'm looking at something from my wallet. Weird. The downside to this, especially considering how things are in Ukraine, with the whole Russia situation, and then we've got China threatening Japan and vice versa. And of course, Syria and Iran are always iffy. It's bad. I mean, there's no way around it. You can't have those kind of cuts with this sort of thing going on. Because if these cuts, for instance, take effect, and say it's another year, say the cuts happen within a year. Let's do 6 months. Say they take effect within 6 months, and they've cut however many soldiers and Marines and sailors and whatever else, and they cut the actual funding. So these units, this is an insanely low number, but say a unit has $2,000 to spend, and you cut it down to $1,000, and that's all they get to spend on getting new gear, getting new whatever. Obviously, it's half their budget. And say that does take effect, and then a year from now, we go to war with Russia, and then China's like, fuck it, we're going to hit Japan, and China hits Japan, and China hits Japan, and then fucking shit just kicks off. If that happens, and we end up having to go fight, we're going to be fucking scrambling for people. We're going to be scrambling like it's cool, and that leaves us very, very vulnerable to anything pretty much anyone wants to do to us. I mean, we've cut our missile defense program, fucking practically non-existent. We're cutting the military, and we're cutting a lot of stuff. And don't get me wrong, we do need to save money as a country. There's no doubt about that. But to cut it now, of all times, I think is wrong. We spend more than any other country in the world on our defense, and I think that's with good reason, because the rest of the world wants what we have. They want our land. They want us gone in general. They want our farmland that we have. They want our industry. They want all of it. And so no wonder we have to spend more on defense. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to be following it very closely, and I'll definitely, let you guys know the more I find. How this affects you, though. You guys are probably curious if this will affect you, and the answer is yes. If they do cut down the amount of people that are needed, like I think the Marine Corps was cutting down to like 190 or 180,000. Let's just say 180,000 when I was getting out. We were at like 225, 230,000, and then they dropped us down to, I'm just going to say 180. I don't remember the number off the top of my head. But say they dropped that down even more to like 150. So there's only 150,000 active duty Marines at any time. That poses a big problem for you guys, because it makes it that much more difficult for you to join. Because the recruiters, instead of having, because like when I was in and I was joining, the war was kicking off and things were fucking rolling, recruiters had to recruit 2 to 3 people a month. They had to get signed up. Every recruiter in an office. So if there's 4 recruiters in an office, they got to get, what would that be, 8 to 12 guys a month signed up to go to boot camp. And the rules for signing up were a lot less. Were a lot less strict. Now, that's not the case. I mean, the more they cut back on people, the more strict they can be, and the more picky they can be. And instead of having to get 2 or 3 people in a month, they maybe have to get 1. And so the recruiters are going to pick the best guys out of that group, and then they're going to follow the rules that have come down. Like for instance, no tattoos. I know a big rule, at least a year or two ago, is you can't have any tattoos at all. And it sucks. A buddy of mine is a recruiter, and he had a couple kids who were absolutely outstanding. They would have been incredible Marines. They were in sports. They were in great shape, great grades. Never been in trouble, nothing. But they had just gotten some tattoos, and nothing major either. Just something small on their back or on their arm, on their upper arm, like their bicep, and he couldn't take them. He couldn't take them. He had to refer them to the Army if they wanted to join, and it's only going to get more strict on you guys. And so that's why I'm constantly preaching to you to stay on top of the game. Do well in school. Graduate fucking as close to the top of the class as you can. Do sports. Be active. Be in good shape. Do all that stuff. Don't get in trouble. Don't go get tattoos. Don't do drugs. None of that stupid shit. Because right now, with the way things are currently, any mistake that you make will prevent you from joining. And that's all there is to it. And you don't want to screw yourself and screw any, potential future that you could have in the Marine Corps because of one stupid mistake because you wanted to go and get drunk or, do something one weekend. And it's just not worth it. It's not. So, yeah, as I hear more about these budget cuts and things, I'll post more. I might not make a video on it unless it's a big deal, but I'll definitely, at the very least, put it on Facebook. So follow me there to keep up to date with that. I've been kind of posting stuff about the Ukraine situation there. So yeah. All right, guys. If you have any questions, concerns, anything like that, hit me up, and I'll see you in the next one. Semper Fi.